Right, my head in that.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's chopping off most of it. Am I overly small or are you overly tall?
What about if I just sit like that?
Don't know.
Is that cool?
I don't think you've ever been cooler, to be fair.
I don't think my back can help with this. Hold on, adjustments.
Should I just sit in your seat? Should we swap seats?
No, I can't. I can't be the lead, Lester.
If I can lead from the other side, let's confuse them.
What about now?
I know I slouch.
What
was that? What have you broken?
Dan's not here, is he?
No. So if I sit up, is that better?
Right. So if you sit up,
yeah, and you right,
and I sit down.
Let's swap seats. This is ridiculous. Come on. Is this the, what?
I look like a midget.
Look how tall I am. Good morning and welcome to another Sunday morning show in association with Golfing Days, who kindly sponsor this show currently.
They do.
And just before we get going with the main bulk of the show, I just want to mention the 18th and 19th of June. We've got the team event, which is at East Sussex National. It's a 2-day event. 4-ball better ball on the Sunday, and then it is singles on the Monday with numerous scores to count. We're still a couple of players short, so we picked up a few last week. You can come on your own. You don't need to have a partner or anything like that. We'll put you with somebody. We're all playing for a team. We're representing DHG Media. So if you want to be part of that team, it'll cost you £270, which includes dinner, bed and breakfast, 2 rounds of golf around a championship golf course.
And it's worth it, because East Sussex National, as you've probably seen this week on the channel, is a spectacular. It's just a spectacular resort, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's had European Tour events. As you walk through the main clubhouse, they've got the boards, haven't they? The past winners of, I think, the English Open there. There were all sorts of stuff, haven't they?
Yeah, on the East course, which was the one we didn't play. We played the West course.
No.
Well, I played 12 holes. I played 11 holes. You played.
You were off
17.
modelling, weren't you?
Don't really want to talk about that. No. You've done some modelling yourself today.
Well,
I mean, the people won't see it.
No,
but,
no.
You know, it will go to the masses.
It was mainly my wrist, to be fair, but
your
got a lovely wrist.
Best part. I feel a little bit, Lester, like a last resort today.
Well, so if anyone's wondering why Lee's here, which I'm wondering that as well.
Because there's nobody else.
Gilly's on holiday. Jordan's
never in work.
Not at work at the moment today. Johnny's camera shy and knows nothing about golf, so he'd have fitted in quite well on this show.
Yeah,
Dan's still on holiday.
Still in Florida.
And that was it. So I had to drag Lee out. Lee was reluctant to be on the show. But here he is.
It was like, can I do it on my own? I'd better ask Lee, really. So here I am. Have
you been on the Sunday show before, or is this your first appearance?
I think, well, I've been on it when me and Dan went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But this is my first time hosting it. I've done
segments. Cameos, yeah. So you've stepped up.
So now I'm in Dan's seat, mainly because I'm 16 foot tall and you're not. But yeah, I'm on the wrong side. I feel a little bit out of place over here.
It's fine. We're just confusing people. But to be fair, we'll see how the ratings go, because last week was it was like literally one of the best rating-wise Sunday shows we've had. So all the pressure's on you this week, because I'm the constant. So.
Yeah, you're.
Checking it's on. Well, sorry to interrupt the Sunday morning show, gentlemen, but I just wanted to check in. I have made my way down to Venice Beach in Florida, down on the Gulf Coast down here. We've been holidaying up in Orlando. We've done a few of the parks up there, but now we've made our way back down to Venice. We've been staying at Bradenton, and the beaches in Bradenton are absolutely beautiful. But we've come down to Venice because Venice was where we used to come when we were kids. We used to come on, you know, when the dollar was, or when the pound was really strong, you know, when you could get like $2 to the pound and everything seemed like super cheap. Well, not so much anymore, unfortunately, with the dollar or with the pound being so weak. But we've had a fantastic trip. But I've made my way down to Venice because I'm off to, well, I'm dropping the kids, Laura and the family, onto Venice Beach. But I'm heading to Lake Venice Golf Club to have a game of golf, vlog it, so you'll hopefully get to see a bit of that. I'll pop a little bit of a B-roll of me actually playing the course when I get up there and get out and play. Well done to Bernie and to Gilly. Well done, boys, for looking after the Sunday show last week. As you can see, Gilly, I still have a little bit of khaki. Got myself a new khaki hat, just to blend in with everything else that I wear, which is khaki. So boy's done a fantastic. Obviously Gilly's stories are amazing, and there's just so many tour stories that he's got of I'm not sure the ones of being in tour vans and borrowing clubs to not return were quite right, but anyway, they're all fun stories and we've all enjoyed them. So the reason I've made my way down to go and play Lake Venice Golf Club is, if you remember my what's in the bag, I had a pitchfork. I've still got the pitchfork, and I worked out that I was about 10 or 11 years old when I first got this pitchfork, and I've never changed it. It's always stayed in my bag. So I'm organised to meet up with the general manager and the pro at the golf club, because I want to have a little catch up with them, introduce myself and get out on the golf course and share with you kind of an experience what I'm going to have when going back to a golf course of where I first kind of kicked off playing golf. It was one of the first golf courses I was introduced to. Got some fun stories as we go around the golf course to share with you as well, but I haven't got any golf clubs either, so I'm going to borrow or rent a set of clubs as well. I will come back to the beach later on to share with you what we're up to out here as well, because Venice is quite unique in the fact that down this coast there's a load of shark teeth, millions of years old, and we'll kind of go into that maybe a little bit later on, but yeah, we're going to go out to the golf course and then come back to the beach. What have we been doing today?
Scooping down from low.
Scooping down.
Get rid of all the grit.
What about this thing? What's this over here? Bring it in, bring it in.
Bring it in, bring it
Right, shake it. What we got? You must have one on there. Yes, I see one right there. Bobby, what have you got?
Shark tooth.
That is a shark tooth. How old is that shark tooth, Bob?
10 million.
10 million years old?
15 million.
10 to 15 million. And then we end up back here where we sort them out, don't we?
Yeah.
First things first, Soph. Who's got the biggest tooth?
Bobby found this one.
Show us, Bob.
He
Show
nearly
us.
chucked it away.
Did he?
Yeah.
He nearly threw it out, Bob.
I thought it was a piece of slate.
Oh, really? Well, that is a beauty, isn't it? I mean, that's a good... How big is that, Bob? Hold your finger up. Hold your finger up. There you go. That's pretty big. That's the biggest of the day, yeah? Bull shark.
Yeah, we got
Quite a few of those, didn't you?
Quite a few of those.
Wow.
So they're all bull sharks.
Yeah. What else you got over there?
We don't have any tiger sharks.
No. Oh, yeah. No tiger sharks. But we're going to see if we can find some more later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Lemons.
We don't have many of them.
Didn't get many lemons.
But sand. We got a lot of sand.
There's so many sands, isn't there?
Like extinct tomatoes.
Oh, that's the one. That's the big one. Your
that's
big one
the
there.
big one.
Yeah. Dusky.
We don't have dusky.
Yeah. Not many of those.
Okay,
That's the big one though, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
that's
there's-
the big
These aren't that big, are they? These are maybe the smaller versions
because
of
this
those.
is the biggest.
Yeah, we didn't see that one, Bob. And then you've got the
They're
Mako.
supposed to be that.
Oh, and that's your miscellaneous over there.
That's got them two are like the same,
Okay.
kind of,
But there's not just shark's teeth, is there?
no.
They are beautiful, aren't they?
And there's a piece of sea glass there.
Oh, a bit of sea glass, yeah. What else have you got to say to everybody on the channel, Soph?
Subscribe.
Well, what a fun few days we've had down in Venice, and like I said earlier, 10 million years old. So what happened is, all those years ago, a lot of Florida was underwater, and this area was kind of inundated with sharks, and that's kind of how the teeth have been left here. However, if you talk to some of the locals, and I was up at Sharky's, there's a restaurant up the road called Sharky's on the pier there, they were saying that kind of this area is actually, I don't know if it's a myth, but this is actually an area where a lot of sharks come to die in this area. which is why it's kind of like a bit of a graveyard for certainly all the shark teeth that come around. But who knows? I don't know. I've looked it up, tried to look it up, but still no real definite answer as to why there's so many shark teeth on this area. Well, we are heading back. We should be back for the Sunday morning show. I will be heading back into town for probably Saturday, and then be back on the road again next week. Got lots going on. I've got a video opportunity with Billy Foster, actually, which will be fantastic. Can't wait to get up and speak to him, get some course management kind of stuff done, catch up with him with a few stories. Never met him before, but I have spoken to him on the putting green once from caddying for Paul, but that's another story. But yeah, so handing back over to you boys.
I want to talk to you today about the PGA and turning pro and your journey through that, because we do get a lot of questions. People ask me and Dan and Lee and everybody else on the channel, how do you turn pro? What do you have to do? What does it entail? And you're part of that journey, so it's quite good to get your perspective of someone who's gone through it. Dan, myself, most people you've seen on the channel have had some experience with the PGA, completed their PGA. Some haven't, for various reasons, but you've turned pro. So where are you currently at?
So I've just started year 2.
Okay.
We see a lot of comments on the channel. It's like, how's Lee giving Leicester shots? Why has Lee not got a handicap? As soon as you turn pro, you lose your amateur status, basically.
So what can you turn pro off then these days? Because it used to be 4.4 when I did it.
You actually used to have to be a 4 handicap, but now you can do it off 6.4 or below.
That's for men, isn't it? What about ladies? Is it slightly higher?
It is, but I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. But there's little caveats to that. So if you go in at 4.5 to 6.4, you've got to play 21 events throughout the 3-year degree, and you have to shoot +4 or better in 3 or 4 of those events. Okay. So that's like your playability test. If you go between 4.5 and 6.4, if you go in at 4.4 or below, there's nothing. Okay. So you don't have to play any golf, or do you have to submit rounds? Yeah, so you have to do 7 rounds a year, 7 PGA events a year, so the Alliance doesn't count. No. So I have to play 7 PGA events a year or 21 over 3 years. Yeah. But the score's irrelevant. Okay. I just have to complete, which is kind of handy because I don't play enough golf. No. So the score's irrelevant. So that's why I don't have a handicap, is because I'm not a PGA professional because I'm not qualified, but I'm a professional golfer when it comes to playing. So I play against Paul, I play against James Ruth. Yeah. You know, there's no difference in who can apply for what. No,
I think I would say from that perspective of playing, it's only one aspect of being a professional golfer. A lot of the good players don't necessarily make good coaches. I mean, some do. I mean, you've got Robert Rock now, I think he's just retired in the last few weeks, who's been a tour coach for sort of a couple of years. And when he's been competing, he's also been giving lessons. I saw him at the Open. He was looking after a couple of the guys on the tour, sort of looking over their swings and, you know, doing little modifications to them. So you don't necessarily have to be a good player to be a good coach or a good retailer. I know plenty of good players who are, I mean, I probably wouldn't say it to their faces, but they're not particularly good coaches. And certainly sort of my expertise when I turned pro was shop work rather than anything else. And I've seen them in the shop, and they're not good in the shop either. No. So, I mean, you have different... For me, you have to sort of specialise early and decide what you want to do and what road you want to go down. Yeah, so I turned pro because I was fitting at Ashbury, and it seemed like a good idea to be able to offer coaching at Ashbury. Yeah. So it was a good progression for me to then go pro. So at the time, I think I was off 8 or 9 handicap, and I played about 40 rounds in 2.5 months. Yeah. And that's what got down me to 4. You know, I played off Royal North Devon off the back and the black tees, shot 8 over, which then reduced it a bit more. So I was getting the opportunities to play hard courses off hard tees with high slope ratings. So, you know, I used the system as it is now, the World Handicap system, to my benefit. Yeah. Years ago, you used to have to go down 0.1, 0.1. You know, you weren't scratched legitimately. The handicap system now is more dependent on form and how you're playing, which has its advantages and has its disadvantages. Whereas before, going up and down when you got category 1, 0.1 and up down 0.1, it made moving your handicap very difficult. You'd have to almost it'd take me a year, and it was only in competition golf. So you couldn't just go out and have a casual round and alter your handicap. You had to put it in competition. So if you were working Saturdays and Wednesdays, for example, Chelsea, you play very few comps, and you only had to keep, I think, 4 events a year to keep your handicap. And some years I only managed 4 or 5 events.
No, and I think there's different arms to being a pro. Like you've got head professionals and you've got play. So like Paul and James Ruth are what I would class as playing professionals. You know, they've got jobs like James Ruth coaches, but he's not a head pro of a golf shot.
No.
Paul isn't a head pro. He earns money by golf.
Yeah.
Then you got people like Rich Woods, who's head pro at Dainton. There was me, who was doing head pro golf manager at Dartmouth. Yeah. There's Harry downstairs, and that side of it, you'd be surprised how little time you've got to play golf, because you're doing 40 hours a week in a golf shop and things like that. And it's
a little bit of coaching on top of that.
Your game just it deteriorates.
Yeah, I mean, I when I turned pro, which was 2003.
God.
I turned pro initially to play. I'd had a decent enough amateur career. I'd played county first team for about 3 years, and I'd won a couple of events. I won the youth championship and the Salver that year, and I was improving. So my ambitions were to play. So the first 6 months I played West Region, some of the minor tour stuff. But after 6 months, I realised 1, wasn't good enough. 2, it was costing me too much money, and 3, I could make more money coaching.
Yeah.
So I then, for the 5-6 years after that, I basically just coached and worked in the shop and played the odd pro-am if required, but I wasn't practicing or playing as much as when I was playing what I'd call sort of county golf, where I was playing 3-4 times a week, doing a little bit of work on the side, and then that was my main focus. But after I turned pro, it wasn't.
I think when it comes to handicap, when you turn pro, you lose it. So you're effectively a scratch golfer. You're not a scratch golfer. You just don't own a handicap because it's not in that realm. The same way as Rory McIlroy doesn't have a handicap. It's just you play against the person, irrelevant of standard. So like I turned pro off 4. Bear in mind I'd played 40 rounds in 2.5 months at that stage, and I've not even played that since.
No.
So my average round now would be 5, 6, 7. You know, if you only hit your handicap 2 or 3 times a year. I've shot an under par round in Spain, but in reality, if I go around in 6 over, I'm happy. That's a good day of golf for me. But the expectation, because you put the word pro in there, is you're a scratch golfer, and it just isn't the case.
If someone's looking to turn pro, so someone's off, let's say Tom's off a 2 handicap, he wants to turn pro, what does he have to do? Can he just turn pro? Is there any other, I know playing wise you've mentioned that, does he need any qualifications academically, and does he need to be at a golf club?
Yeah, so if you go on the PGA website, it tells you all the information there, but you effectively have to have a certain amount of GCSEs or a academic background. Yeah. Or I went in as what was called a mature student.
You're not mature. Who's ever called you mature?
Because I was, I'm 40, so I've got obviously a few GCSEs, and then I've got all my qualifications for being in the Navy. That was acceptable. So you need to have some academic sort of background. So if you're coming in from a junior type of person, you need the GCSEs. Yeah. You need to have a head professional who is or a qualified professional to be able to oversee your training. And you have
a mentor, I guess.
Yeah, but you have to work with that guy for 30 hours a week.
Yeah, okay.
So you've got to then have a job at the same time.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing to take away is it's a 3-year degree. It's just short of £15,000 to do.
Yeah, it was a lot cheaper when I did it.
Because it's £4,250 a year. I'm lucky that the Navy pay like just under half of that as part of my thing. But the biggest thing to take away is losing your amateur status is a big thing. I miss going to Whitsunday Bay and playing in the monthly meadow. I miss going and playing in the Stableford, or the area leagues, little things like that. You have to write them off, and the only competitive golf you'll play is against your fellow professionals.
Yeah, I mean, I found that probably the most difficult sort of change, really, because when you're an amateur, you play in teams, you play for your club. It's a better atmosphere. When you're playing in pro events, you're playing for money. It's people's livelihood. Although you've got friends, they're not as friendly as when you're playing in the monthly medal, because ultimately you're playing for money and a pot, which they need that money. That's what I found the most difficult, and the time it takes to play around a golf.
It's that playing for money aspect. I still turn up at, like I'm playing Dartmouth on Thursday. I don't have any expectations of winning. No. So the question is, well, why are you doing it? Like I can't transition my brain into golf is now my job, and I should be going there to earn whatever it is, money-wise. Whereas you look at people like James and Paul, they earn 15 to 20,000 a year. That's their job, is to do it. So they put the practice in. Whereas my job now is this.
That's where for me. That's where it gets difficult. Is when you think, well, I'm going to play golf on a Thursday. It's my day off, but I could go in and teach for half a day and earn. I mean, I don't know what they earn now. £40-50 an hour.
Yeah.
Do 4 or 5 hours. I've earned £250. I'm not going to win £250.
No.
It's going to cost me to travel. It's going to cost me re-entry. But then, it's weighing that out, isn't it? Getting the balance, I guess, between it all.
I think if I didn't have to play those 7 events, I probably wouldn't. But then I would never play golf.
No, that's the trick.
Because I'm not an amateur
because you
anymore.
love golf.
Yeah.
But in relative terms, the amount of golf you play is less than a top amateur would play.
Well,
so yeah,
they've always said PGA stands for put golf clubs away, don't they? So,
which it does.
And it's actually true, depending on the job you do. If you've got a decent head pro who's going to let you go off, it's fine. But and then
you haven't, though, have you?
No.
Dan.
Dan, can I play golf? No. Get behind that computer. But it's like essays, so you have to do 4 assignments a year.
Yeah.
Then you have exams in April, which can come from assignments to actual exams to rules of golf exams. You have to go and do residentials, which for
I used
me,
to love them.
But it's a trek, isn't it? Because it's Birmingham.
Yeah.
So
but you've got the Bel Air nightclub up there. I spent many a night in there.
So it's a complete life change. And you've got to either embrace it or. Like the question to me now is, why am I bothering doing year 2 and 3? Because I'm not fitting anymore. I'm not coaching anymore. I'm here playing golf. So I'd actually be better off on the vlogs having a handicap.
Whichever avenue you see it.
Ticked off nearly every job the PGA has on their list of jobs.
You literally have as well.
I've done a few. Done that. Done that one. Yeah, done that one. Yeah. All I'd say is, if you want to be a pro, if that's something you want to do, go for it, embrace it.
But this week, anyway, let's move it on, shall we? So you mentioned vlogging and you needed a handicap, but we've been at East Sussex National this week, haven't we?
Yes, we did. So part 1 was combat golf.
So that was me, Jordan and Dan. Lee was off modelling, so you might have seen a bit of Instagram.
All the video I put on my channel.
All the video on that channel, yeah. So Lee was off modelling. And he went and joined us on the about the 5th hole, but we made you wait, didn't we, to the 7th?
Yeah, and then we skipped the 7th because there was we needed a buffer. So I think we played 8 to 18 after that, didn't we? So
we played a little bit of foursomes to make it quicker. So Dan and Lee against me and Jordan, but we had a bit of fun, didn't we? The course was tough.
Oh, it's tough.
Foursomes is the worst format you could play, isn't it?
I feel a little bit like we handed that to you a little bit, because we got ahead and then me and Dan had a little bit of an implosion on the par 5, and then I just, It
was fun, wasn't it? What a golf course.
Yeah, it's a great golf course. It's one of those golf courses that just suited my eye with the driver perfectly. So
Mark Campbell, one of our, he's good support of the channel and comes on the bus tour, and one of my good friends now. He's been like going on about us playing that golf course for probably the best part of 2 years and saying how good it was, and to me it just didn't disappoint. No. It was everything he said and probably a little bit more. So. And it's a long course off those go-tos. Yeah. Like I watched part 1 because obviously I wasn't there. And so his advice on the first was hit a hybrid down the left-hand side, leave yourself a wedge in. Well, I smashed driver as hard as I could and still had like more than a wedge in. It was so long. He did comment, didn't he? So like, I didn't expect you to play off the golf. No, that was Dan's idea. No, but it's a great golf course and a great resort, and I think we've already made sort of plans in the future to go and do the East course. Yeah, that's definitely on the list. And then go back to Sweetwoods and do that full 18 as well. Yeah. So great part of the country, great vlog, and hopefully you all enjoyed it. What's coming up this week? So this week we have got a ladder match. It's the weekly episodic programme of Lee. Of Lee on the ladder match. So Lee versus Harry. So Harry's head pro. He was on the Christmas special from Bovey last December, and he also was on the Ryder Cup special. He was, yeah. I'm not sure if he's done any other videos. I think that's it. No, I think that's all he's done. Yeah. So Harry makes his return. He's head pro at Churston. Lee took him on over the front 9. I was on camera as well, so we had a bit of fun, didn't we? Yeah. It was a good game. It was a good game. On his golf course, he is the head professional here. Yeah, so that's a 2-shot advantage. But no, so I think it's worth watching, isn't it? That's that Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday's Land Hydrock, I think, the start of that. It is, part 1. So part 1, that's me and Josh against Gilly and Dan. Yep, Gilly's back. Combined Stableford over 6 holes. So that's Josh's first appearance on the channal. Yeah, so he's the assistant at Churston. He did. I think they're going to. You're going to enjoy Josh playing golf because he's got a little bit of game.
He's got a nice personality. From what I mean, I don't really know him as well as you do. I've only met him
he's one of my best mates. So yeah, but he's a good lad.
He's a nice personality. He's got the sort of the big stature. He hits the ball a long way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think
silky putter as well.
Yeah. Not touch of an elephant like me. I left dance on putts, didn't I?
Yeah.
He was not happy.
No. So yeah, so Josh this week. Then we've got a few videos sort of filling towards the end of the week, haven't we?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of reviews and so obviously the Saturday Showdown was back this week as well, which was me and Dan. We did the Ping Hybrid and the Mizuno Hybrid, so hopefully you all enjoyed the return of the Saturday Night Showdown.
That'll be a regular running programme,
so that'll be every Saturday.
Yeah.
That will be our Saturday programme. So you've got the Sunday morning show and then you've got the Saturday Night Showdown, and then the vlogs will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with reviews and coaching. Other fillers on a Thursday, Friday. So yeah, that's come back, and I always enjoy reviews. It's kind of a bit of
it's your sort of.
I like tech.
It's your little baby, isn't it?
Yeah.
You are a tech king, aren't you?
Tech head king? Of tech, he calls me.
Does he? Yeah.
So so that's back. So that'll be back on Sunday. And obviously, you had your pitching lesson this week.
Yeah. So when Chris Gill came up week before, wasn't it? It was on this week. It was last week, wasn't it? Don't know. I've lost track of weeks now.
That was last week, yeah.
Yeah, so he came up and we did a few videos, and then he's like, I just want to give you a quick pitching lesson. I've noticed a few things. So we sort of had a little lesson in the indoor, which was brilliant. So I'm going to I've been practicing and trying to put into what ideas he's given me and thoughts and stuff to move forward. So hopefully we'll see some changes.
And hopefully that's not killed his coaching career as well.
No, it could make or break. That's like as I said.
It was when he said, I want to give you some short game coaching, Lester, on a video.
We both shook our head, didn't we?
What are you doing? Are you sure?
But no, so that should be good. Cool.
So final thing, the bus tour is back next year. Yeah,
I've organised 3 events so far, which I'm doing off my own back this year. Tried to bring the price down a fraction by organising them myself, but it means I have to pay deposits and whatnot. So at the moment I've just committed to 3 events, plus the Golfing Days trip as well. We've got St Melian, which is the first one, which is end of April. Lee will pop it on the ticker bar. It's a little bit more expensive than the others. The other 2 I've managed to do for £270. This one's in the 300s. But we are playing the Nicholas course. Yeah. The accommodation's good as well. I just wanted to take it up a level, and it's probably a better venue than, with all due respect to where I've been so far, last year and the year before. It's probably another level above, so it will be slightly more expensive. But it is limited to 15 people. I've already had 6 people say they want to go on it without me even advertising it. So there is places available. It will be all the details there, but it's dinner, bed and breakfast, 18 holes around the Kerno and 18 holes around the Nicholas. Both courses are featured on the channel. Yeah. And it will be, we'll play a Texas Scramble probably on the first day, and then a singles Stableford on the second day with prizes.
Not a medal on the Nick course?
No, definitely not. But it will be a bit of fun. You'll meet like-minded people. Come on your own. A lot of people come on their own. Everyone's friendly. A lot of people have made friends for life, and we get the same people generally coming on all the trips, which is great. So
yeah, they do look like fun. And the other dates will be on the ticker bar going across. But if you want to get more information or you want to book yourself in, contact Lester at lester_barnes@hotmail.com.
Brilliant. Well done you. That was good. I remember.
Again, that will be on the bottom. And
I'll send you any details, get you booked in. I've not taken any deposits yet, but I will be in the next sort of month or so. But it'll be a small deposit to secure your place. But they are very limited this year.
I'll let you get a booking, then I'll tell everyone I might pop down to St Melian because it's just around the corner from my house. Don't want to play? Don't want to leave.
Join in if you want.
We'll see if you get enough yet.
Is that about it then? I think we've probably waffled enough.
Yeah, that covers it.
Dan will be returning next week, so
thank God.
We might be looking for new jobs.
Yeah. So can I have another new job this early on?
No. You last about 6 months normally, don't you?
Yeah, I've only been here 3 weeks, so maybe I'll just go on a warding to start with.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for Golfing Days for sponsoring this particular show. And we will see you next Sunday.
You won't see me, but you'll see him. See you next Sunday.